Grow up with me. Let's run in fields and fear the dark together. Fall off swings and burn special things, and both play outside in bad weather. Let's eat badly. Let's watch adults drink wine and laugh at their idiocy. Let's sit in the back of the car, making eye contact with strangers driving past, making them uncomfortable. Not caring, not swearing, don't fuck. Let's both reclaim our superpowers, the ones we all have and lose with our milk teeth. The ability not to fear social awkwardness, to panic when locked in the cellar, still sure there's something down there. Let's cry, let's swim, let's everything. Let's not find it funny lest someone falls over. Let's hear stories and both lose our innocence. Learn about parents and forgiveness, death and morality, kindness and art, thus losing both of our innocent hearts. But at least we don't do it apart. Grow up with me.
Maddie. Molly.
What school do you guys go to?
Branksome Hall.
Megan McBain.
What school do you go to?
Branksome Hall.
You think you're funny.
Okay. Lawrence Park.
Blaze. Meredith.
And what grade are you guys in?
Grade 10.
So Amanda,
Hi, my name is Zoe Wright and I'm in grade 10. I used to go to Branksome, but now I go to Monarch because... Yeah.
would you rather be the most intelligent girl in the world or the most beautiful?
Intelligent, clearly. Intelligence is beauty. That's what Ashton Kutcher says.
Just going to Branksome, I would definitely rather be the most intelligent girl in the world.
Yeah. Intelligent.
It's really hard. Question. It is valued at Branksome to be intellectual and to be academic, and people who have higher grades and who are more interested in school generally have the respect of their classmates, and you can see them going places, and I would much rather be that girl than be the girl, you know, that everyone thinks is beautiful in high school and probably for the rest of her life, but might not, you know, do that much with her talent, and I would rather be the intelligent one.
It's hard because like, you don't want to say the most beautiful, but like...
Beautiful. Beautiful. Girls, I don't even care about intelligent. Okay, end of question. Next one.
If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper.
Okay, what is your relationship with girls and food?
Like personally?
My personal relationship with food.
It's very loving.
Very loving. Okay, like I have an emotional connection to bread. I think that all girls try to pretend that they eat a lot and they don't actually, and people want to be skinny without trying, and I think that people always they like to give the image that they eat so much and that they eat all the time, and they don't actually, and they're all very thin, and I think that is a problem.
Even at Branksome, you know, food is such a precious commodity and that people are obsessed with it. They're obsessed with either eating it or not eating it. They're obsessed with loving food or hating it. So it's just a very high emotion thing, whereas I feel like people at other schools are just like, oh, food, puts in mouth.
I think food should be just something that we do naturally and that we enjoy, but it's turned into an obsession. Like, girls don't eat. They think about it, they choose it, if they eat too much they feel guilty, if they eat too little then other people judge them and say, why aren't you eating more, are you anorexic? You know, there shouldn't be so much hype about food. It's really not that big of a deal. We all eat it. We all eat it 3 times a day, hopefully. More than 3 times a day. Here, Maddie, but you know, there shouldn't be so much hype about it. It's just food. And
I got this feeling on the summer day when you were gone. I crashed my car into the bridge. I watched, I let it burn. I threw your shit in
worst aspect about being a girl?
How every freaking month, my period, it's just like a blood flowing waterfall from Satan and it just consumes my life and I can't breathe and I can't sleep and I get pimples and I get fat.
The worst aspect, other than the fact that vaginas are disgusting,
That, and also how sometimes if I don't put on makeup in the morning, I can look like a homeless man.
I mean, you're expected to look or act a certain way. Mainly there's like the huge stereotype of being a girl. Of like having like massive boobs or a massive butt. Like you just like you're expected to be a certain way.
the hardest part about being a girl today in Canada is that you have to watch and endure the sexism of women in other places. And you can do as much as you can, but at the same time, it's still there, and we can work really, really hard, but that's probably not going to end anytime soon. I mean, just with the leadership there, I think that's the hardest part about being a girl, watching the, watching other girls suffer.
Crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. summer night, I don't care, hand on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing, rolling the mid beside.
What do you think of people your own age who smoke and drink?
Will always befuddle me why people do do things that they know are so bad for themselves, and I just, like, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to die. I may over-exaggerate and say, like, I literally want to die when I see this girl, but I don't want to die, and I don't want to, like, it's, like, a way of indirect suicide, almost. Like, I don't know, like, why are you smoking? Like, you're bringing cancer-causing chemicals into your life. Like, that is just not cool. Like, I don't get why that's cool. Like, that's not cool to me.
Obviously, everyone experiments, and it's fine to, you know, I don't care if people are drinking and smoking. It's just, it's part of teenage culture, I guess, and life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you don't want, when you hear about people who especially people you used to know who are, like, getting into more drugs and everything, it makes you kind of sad, I guess. That
I definitely don't think it should be something that defines a person.
Yes.
But as soon as it starts to define you, that's when it starts to get a little bit get noticeable. Because I mean, like what Molly said, everyone I guess experiments, but once it starts to define you and it gets in the way of like things like school, friends, family, eating habits, sleeping habits, that's when it starts to become a little bit more worrisome.
I think there's definitely a stigma around it at Branksome, which isn't a good thing, because girls are, I guess, a little bit more sheltered, but I mean for the most part, and so people, you know, when they hear that people smoke and drink on weekends, it sort of becomes more, it impacts their view of them more than it should, because it's not that unusual of a thing, and it's definitely a personal decision, and it shouldn't impact your view of someone, your judgment of them.
The part about your health, a lot of people kind of like know me as the person that like doesn't drink or doesn't smoke and is very against that. But like, it's also that I really, when I'm telling somebody don't drink, it's not that I'm like judging them so hard or whatever, even though they may think that. It's that like I do like care about people, and I don't want to see them like you know, be sick.
Smoking marijuana, I don't think that's a big deal. I think smoking crack is f***ing retarded. I think that drinking to a certain extent is okay. I think that you shouldn't binge drink. I know lots of friends that have ended up in the hospital because of that. But I think that just because you hit 19 doesn't mean that you're any more or less mature than you were half a year ago.
What would your reaction be if your friend told you they cut?
It very much depends on the
situation. I think that if like you had found out without them telling you, I wouldn't say anything.
You know, like, I think a huge portion of people do, and if it was my best friend, like, I don't know, like, I've seen it happen before, and you can't really tell someone that it's wrong. That's like saying, hey, your feelings are dumb. You don't really choose to feel a certain way, and for me personally, I would try to make them realize that they're not alone in the situation, and I would hope that they knew that, like, things can get better. I'd probably cry, but it's not easy. It's like I have experienced that, and it's not really fun.
I want him, but we're not right. In the dark, on my waist, through my hair. Think about it when you touch me there. Close my eyes, here you are, all alone, dancing.
Okay, what is the ideal age to lose your virginity?
Whenever you can. Oh my, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know. Whenever you're ready. If you're like just super horny all the time, then I think you should just, you know, get it done with. If you're like 12, I don't think you should. Like, what's that saying? If your age is on the clock, you're not ready for the beep. The clock. Okay.
Personally, I'd probably wait till university.
I don't know. Whenever you find somebody that you feel comfortable with. Whenever you feel horny enough to. I mean, like, I want to have sex? Yeah, maybe I'll have sex now. Maybe I'll have sex when I'm 25. I think that when you're emotionally prepared and emotionally savvy and mentally prepared to be safe and choose a partner that hopefully doesn't have chlamydia, then I think that you can do what you want. I mean...
See, this is the color I want.
This is Damien. He's almost too gay to function.
Watch out, please. New meat coming through. Say crack again.
Crack.
In every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down.
She doesn't even go here. Boo.
No.
Okay, what would your reaction be if your best friend told you that they were gay?
I'd say, like, honestly, I'm proud of you for being able to say that. Not a lot of people can.
I'd be like, hey, join the club, motherfucker!
I don't know. I don't really care if they're gay or not. I mean, as long as they're not like, I don't know. I don't really care.
That's not a problem for me at all.
Yeah.
Like, if my best friend told me that, I would just be like, oh, okay, like, I obviously support you, you know, you can talk to me about it anytime if you need to, and just kind of back off. Like, let them talk to me about it when they need to, but otherwise not treat them any differently.
Yeah, and you like shouldn't really make it into one.
Yeah.
Because that kind of makes them feel more uncomfortable.
I know.
Like, I would be totally fine
Yeah.
with that.
you hit me once, I hit you back. You gave a kick, I gave a slap. You smashed a plate over my head. Then I set fire to our bed.
Who has it harder, gay men or gay women?
You know how some people fantasize about gay men or whatever and they think, oh my god, gay men, like, you know how every girl wants to have a gay best friend? That's a guy, right?
Yeah.
But when have you ever heard a girl or a guy say, I want a lesbian best friend? No one says that. No one says that. So gay women have it much harder, I think.
That's really difficult because the problem for gay women is that they can, like, people would say they're more socially accepted because they're, you know, more accepted in society, but I would argue that that's only because they're, like, so sexualized by straight men. And it's a problem because, like, they're not really being accepted, they're being objectified. And then gay men, I think gay men have it harder. They have it equally hard because at a young age, there's, like, that concept of masculinity that's so reinforced by, you know, the patriarchy, obviously, and by, you know, very, like, whether they're very straight or whether they're more conservative masculine figures in their lives. So gay men have it harder because oftentimes, you know, they identify with a sort of an archetype completely different from what they're used to, and they have to figure out what's going on without being told, like, oh, you're such a girl, like, oh, like derogatory terms.
age say that they're in love?
Yeah, that.
That you're not in love. You're 15.
I think that it's BS.
Me too. I'm gonna be honest.
Like
I know it's so bad of me to judge, but
and
there's all
also,
different kinds of love.
It just like it seems so. It's just I find it annoying, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
love you.
I don't want to hear about how much you love your boyfriend. It's fine to say you love someone, but then it's annoying when they say that they you know they can't imagine themselves with someone else, or they think that they're gonna be with this person for a long time, because it's like, guess what? You're probably not 99% sure you're not gonna be with this person in a few months. So don't pretend you are.
I think that a lot of people don't understand what love is, but I also think that some people do. You can't really tell somebody that they're not in love. Like, you can't, like, someone comes up to me and says that they are. It's like, I can't just be like, no, you're not. Like, you don't feel what they feel. But to some extent, I think people are more in love with the idea of being in love than they are the person.
When I was a boy, I wish that I was older, wish that I was taller.
Who is the most important person in your life and why?
My brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I put my brother before myself. Like, he is my best friend, and he's done everything for me, and I could never ask for someone better in my life. And I mean, there's always your friends who impact your life, and there's always your mom and dad, but the thing is like, the person who is going to be there the rest of the time, who you can always kind of count on, is like your family, and quite frankly, for me, that's my brother. I don't know, he's a lifesaver, really. That's like all I can really say about him.
I don't really think I have anybody like that. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Everybody goes away. I think that one of the most important life lessons that you can learn is that you can trust somebody, and you can love somebody, and you can look up to somebody, but no matter what, that person's gonna go away. And I think that you can respect people, and you can value people, and you can love people, but I don't think that you should hold one person in the highest esteem possible, because that person's going to go away. And when that person goes away, you're going to be crushed. So don't have a person like that. I don't have a person like that.
Two hands longing for each other's warmth. Cold smoke seeping out of colder throats. Darkness falling leaves nowhere to go. It's spiraling down, biting words like a wolf howling. Hate is spitting out each other's mouths, but we're still sleeping like we're lovers.